Hi, this is Brian Rizzo, CEO of ICE Cable Systems, and I'm here with my good friend and business associate, Edward Earl.
Hey, guys.
From CEO Growth Team, and we're here to talk about our new program, our business development program for wire and cable dealers across the country. And we're going to talk a little bit about the details, how it works, and how that's going to roll out.
You know, it's interesting when you think about this program. I can only imagine what you guys out there are thinking, because we've worked together for a lot of years at CEO Growth Team, and prior to that about your guys' organization on your brand, marketing, SEO, just about everything under the sun. But all of a sudden, you're starting to take a different direction, which we love. But I can only imagine what your dealers are thinking, because I can just picture it as I thought about this the other day, them saying, Brian, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're a cable company. Why are you pushing us business development information? What gives?
For sure. One of the really early things that we learned from working with you guys back in the day was about, really success in marketing being about you successfully helping your customers. If you can truly offer value to your customers, real benefit in ways that don't just seem like cool things, but are actually useful things that they can take advantage of, help them grow their business, the benefits will come back to you. And
Absolutely.
so if the focus is really on helping them develop, that's where we really think we'll have success. And so you taught us that early on, and we started to implement some of that. We used to do, for example, telemarketing for our distributors, and literally calling up customers and driving business to them. We used to do, and actually still do, monthly HTMLs that we dual brand and create really clean, well-done pieces, sound it out to our distributors, those types of things. And we're really trying to help do a lot of different things to help them drive business. And this is kind of variant, because we sort of stepped back a little bit and said, hey, how can we step this up? How can we give guys access to maybe some of the higher level strategic stuff that we've had a chance to learn and really adopt in our business? And that's kind of what this was about, was taking it to the next level.
Right, and one of the things that was interesting in working with you guys from the beginning, back in when we used to do Conference of Kings, and then here when we're doing the show, you're around so many CEOs, and I've dealt with literally tens and tens of thousands of organizations around the world. But the one thing that was always impressive about you and your organization is you guys really had a very different perspective on your industry. You really took a leadership position, not only from the manufacturing of your product, but from the way that you looked at your customer base and your marketplace. And I think that's why you adopted so well and adapted into that patriarchal marketing structure, because you looked at the economy and you watched what happened to the industry as a whole, and things just kind of flattening out. And I know that when we talked about that personally, there was a lot of frustration on your part with the industry, the lack of success that your dealers were having, and then the approaches that your competitors were taking.
Yeah, for sure. We really wanted to go in a direction. One, because I'll talk about where the competitors go in a second, but we really feel like we have a responsibility to help our customers get sell-through, to help them build their businesses, to help them be bigger, better, stronger companies. That seems on the surface like it might be kind of an obvious thing, but when you look at what's done, not only in this industry, but other industries as well, it's just push marketing. They're taking a product and they're really jamming it down the throat of the customers, and it's not necessarily in the best interest of the customers to really take that approach. And what I mean by that is, if you look at some of the marketing, it's selling a new cable, new 24 gauge, new this, new that, and it's all about buy this product. Look at the stuff we've got. Push, 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 push.
Right.
There's nothing inherent in there that says we're going to help you guys sell more cable, because we know that if we really truly do that, you'll be a healthier, stronger business. You'll buy more cable from us. That'll just be the cycle that naturally occurs from benefiting dealers in that way. So we realized just inherently at the beginning, especially once we started working with you, it almost can't be any other way. That's really how you have to do it.
Yeah, there's no way to do it. And it is interesting that those types of push marketing mentalities are very old manufacturing strategies. And it's interesting that in an industry such as yours that's so innovative technologically, that the philosophies of running an organization are so antiquated, not even remotely have caught up to any of the paradigms, so far behind, because it's let's get stuff off our shelf into your shelf. We'll meet our quotas by dumping our garbage off onto you, not considering the fact that how are you guys going to get rid of that stuff?
It really pisses me off to see that stuff, and I'll tell you, it doesn't feel good to sit by and watch that stuff happening.
Right.
You know, I just read a recent article about Best Buy and some of their manufacturers having issues in that way, and even it really, that type of stuff happening at the highest levels on the corporate side. Obviously, we're a smaller company, but we see it, you know, daily from our competitors on our side of things. It doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel right. It's not the right way to go about things, I think.
It's not responsible business. It's not responsible ethics. It's just not responsible in any way, shape, or form. And technically, from a strategy side, guys, it's just not good strategy. When it's all said and done.
Stuffing the channel, right?
Yeah, stuffing the channel. It's not good strategy. So we've really come up with some fantastic stuff with a lot of the stuff that we've done before, and then you guys adopting that and then kind of merging it together in a collaborative piece. We've come up with some really fantastic material.
Yeah, once you get past the idea of we're really going to help our dealers, and the only question is, how are we going to do this? What's the best way to really help these guys out? We've taken a number of approaches up until now that have had, you know, certain degrees of success. We talked about the telemarketing and things of that nature. But this was the next level. This was, okay, we've really learned a tremendous amount about marketing. I feel like now I have a really good feel for how this stuff works, what really changes people and drives people behaviorally. And I sort of felt like we're implementing this stuff to grow our organization, and it works. This is the right approach, and I think, man, what happens if we could really teach our dealers this stuff? You know, rather than just do this on a low level. It's the old teach a man to fish, you know,
sure.
Give him a fish or teach him how to fish. That was kind of the concept here is let's really teach these guys higher level strategic marketing. Let's give them access to what we learn from you guys and what we can really adopt. Show them how to do it. Show them how to use it within their own businesses and their own organizations. Obviously, if and, well, certainly when they use some of that stuff to grow their organizations, they're going to do more business. When they do more business, they're going to buy more cable. It'll come back to us in a really indirect way, but we know if we focus on helping them grow, there'll be benefits down the road for us in some way, shape, or form.
Right, and it wasn't just informational. Guys, what Brian and I put together is not just informational and training. It really is much more than that, and it's beyond that. Yes, there's training, there's high-level strategy. We'll talk about some of those details in a minute, but there's also some tools and things and structures that you put together, formats that you can pass on to these guys and to you guys, obviously, that really can create some success, like the email formats and looking at mobilization. And in addition to the training, and that'll come in a lot of different varied formats, this thing's really robust.
Yeah, the basic structure of the way that we're really going to teach this stuff is there's a once-a-week phone call, and you can elaborate on this more in a moment, but there's a once-a-week phone call that installers and our dealers and customers will have access to, and they'll be able to get on, and the content of the phone call will be really hard-hitting, high-level strategic analysis about sales, marketing, and all of the leadership, all of the really core topics that guys need to learn in order to build their organizations and to grow. And it's going to be the kind of stuff they're going to be able to hop on the call, listen for an hour, take in a whole bunch of information, really good information, and go back and implement it right away.
Yeah.
Almost like, you used to do something called Conference of Kings, where CEOs had an opportunity to show up, listen, learn about a bunch of really relevant topics, collaborate on it, and then take that home and implement it with their companies. This is going to be a similar type of thing, but on a more of a conference phone call type of a
so it's got the ability to branch itself out to wherever you guys are. If you can, let me elaborate a little bit on the call so you guys can understand. The trainings happen in a lot of different formats, but the conference call is one version of it. And every single week there will be a call. The first week is always going to center around branding, marketing, advertising, SWOT, competitive intelligence, more of a strategy-based call. And so, for example, 1 week it might be, at the first of month, say September, it might be about branding. I think the topic in September, the first week, is about branding. It's teaching you guys how to break down your industry and evaluate the competitive brands in your industry, the guys that you're competing with every single day. In addition to that, evaluate your brand as it relates to what are called performance and perception-oriented attributes that are related to your marketplace, whether those are builders or architects or whether those are the end users that you're building on a residential or commercial level, whatever that is to take those sets of attributes from your brand and from the marketplace and merge them together and see where you line up. and then to take that kind of foundation and then figure out where your gaps are so you can start creating the impact of these big Fortune 500 brands that have massive credibility, but do it instantaneously without spending the kind of time or money. And so we'll go over that, say, on that first week as the branding structure. This is an example. We'll not only do it, but we'll also cross over. We'll give you the worksheets. We'll give you the evaluation tools to download. We'll go through examples of that. And then we'll give an example of a brand report and a rebrand so you guys can go online and pull that down. So after we're done with the call, not only will there be tools for you to use through the instruction, but you'll have examples that are done live so you can see this stuff, how it really, really works. And then in addition to that, we'll have an MP3 of the call on the back end that you can pull up in case you want to keep listening to it or in case you miss it.
Yeah, and in order to keep guys informed as to what's happening and what the schedule is, we're going to send out a once-a-month HTML email that's going to have the curriculum for that upcoming month. And so it's going to give you the topic and what you're going to learn in each week's phone call on that curriculum HTML email. And it's also going to detail the live show that takes place once a month here at CGT Studios.
Right, and that's exactly what happens, Brian. It's on the third week. So the first week is always kind of that strategy-based marketing, advertising, branding. And like I said, it's not just training. There's exercises. You get access to those worksheets and evaluation tools that will come in the form of PDFs, things like that that you can download and use. Those are yours to do and to work with, in scripts, things like that.
Yeah.
If you're writing new advertising, we have templates for scripts, press scripts. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of material like that. So you'll get that. The second week, we're going to go over things like leadership and management and life coaching because that's a significant part of your organization and growing that. You've got to grow yourself. You've got to grow your people. You've got to be able to pay attention to the psychology of the marketplace. The third week is always the live show, Grow with Edward Earl. We film it right here at CGT Studios in Los Angeles, California, and we will broadcast that. And you'll be able to listen to it, and you'll be able to be either on your PCs or your Macs, your MacBooks, laptops, whatever, or even on your smartphones or your mobile devices and watch that segment. And technically, you can tune in for the 1 hour segment, or if you want, you can watch the whole day. It really doesn't make any difference to us. And that's high-level strategy, but of course, we'll be filming here. There will be an audience of CEOs, and you have access to that. And then the fourth week, when it's all said and done, is sales. It's all about sales. Based on my concept, The 7 O's of Sales, which is a book that I've written, and a training that I do. It's about a $20,000 per man 2-day training, but you guys will get access to that gratis, free of charge. And so that call will happen on the fourth week, and if you have sales situations, problems, objections you've been getting that you don't know how to resolve, positions that you're in, submit those via email, and we'll address those in detail with answers, strategies, verbiage, just about everything you can think of.
You know, I think the biggest thing about this is to bottom line it for a lot of guys who are thinking, do I spend my time on this kind of stuff or not? This is the kind of stuff that really levels the playing field.
Right.
Small businesses who don't have resources, they don't have the cash, and they don't have a lot of the wherewithal that it takes to really compete with larger companies. This is the kind of stuff that really levels the playing field. It gives them the knowledge and the know-how to do some of the stuff that from a marketing perspective is really going to give them the impact of much larger, more well-funded
Well, and that's been the problem with small and mid-sized companies growing and competing against bigger organizations. When you look at a standard sales training from a Hyman Miller, that's a $12,000 to $15,000 per guy proposition in 2 to 4 days gone,
right.
Not including the travel time, the hotel, the meals, so on and so forth. You're looking at a $15,000 per guy deal.
Yeah.
So if you've got 10 salespeople in an organization and you're small, you just blew $150,000. Well, that's great for Intel. That's great for some big organization, but for someone like your guys' organization who might have 1, 2, or 3 salespeople, you don't have $45,000.
Right.
And that's just one. That's not including, for example, in my own personal fees for doing these things, they're upwards of $500,000 to a couple $1 million plus a percentage of the organization.
Right.
In my prior organizations, guys that would come to this kind of stuff would pay anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 or spend hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
And so because of that approach to level the playing field, we created CEO Growth Team. And even though we've reduced the fees and expanded the service base to really focus on small and mid-sized companies like yours and like you guys, the service fee for what they're getting is still a $3,000 to $5,000 a month proposition.
Right.
It's not expensive, but it's not inexpensive. And the stuff that we've worked together, because you guys are a part of that structure, is we're collaborating to where you're technically in a kind of a reduced format, kind of a package deal that we have. You're essentially paying for these guys to be a part of the structure. So
yeah, it's a good opportunity. It really is. I'll tell you, when we first started working with you guys, we needed help in a lot of different areas. Fortunately, I was pretty comfortable with kind of putting my ego aside a little bit and recognizing, look, man, we're not as good at sales as we need to be. We need systems. We need better organizational structure. We need to understand and put better, higher quality marketing out there. I knew that we needed help in a number of different areas. It wasn't just a singular thing for a small business. And frankly, a lot of that weighs on the minds and the stress levels of CEOs and business owners of small companies. They know that they're running, they're short on time, they're short on know-how, they're short on resources. So for us, when we stumbled upon this stuff, it's like, oh man, this is a solution to not only one problem. This is going to solve a whole number of things for us that we know we really need help on. And look, guys get access to that kind of stuff, are going to get access to that kind of stuff for free, really. You know, that's pretty cool.
Which I'll tell you what, it's interesting, and guys, I can tell you, in dealing with tens of thousands of CEOs around the world, very few people are innovative enough and forward-thinking enough, like you guys, and we've got some other CEOs that are doing similar types of things. But it's because it's the way that you guys think about your marketplace and your customer base, and most guys don't do that.
If you really care about growing your business, I mean, this is the way you have to spend your time addressing it. Frankly, a lot of guys who start businesses, they just don't start out with this level of know-how. And it's no fault of their own, because frankly, we didn't either.
Yeah.
But you know what? Once you recognize that you don't have it, it's cool. You spend the time working with organizations like a CEO growth team to learn this stuff, really implement it, and then you just grow your company. It's actually a hell of a lot of fun once you.
Yeah, we have a great time on professional and personal levels and some of the things that we do, because you participate in our organization in the CEO Fit program, and I know that we played tennis together and we've done some things. And guys, you realize that making money and doing business and entrepreneurialism is an enormous amount of fun, especially because that's part of my MO anyway, is to, in these hard-hitting, quick, fast-paced kind of blasts of information and strategy, is to resolve the gaps that you guys have and get you on a level playing field, because that's the stuff that weighs on your mind. And honestly, it's what takes away the time that you want to spend having fun and doing more enjoyable things.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you, just getting around people who, and through the calls, guys are going to have the ability to do this, getting around people who live this stuff, who are living it every day, who are passionate about entrepreneurial endeavors, growing their business, and really this kind of stuff, it's contagious.
Yeah,
it's almost like being in sports, where you're just in the culture.
Yeah.
And other guys are really interested in it and passionate about it and love it. You can't help but feed off of that energy. You know, that's what a lot of this is about, is getting around other people who are really energetic about it, feeding off of that, learning, and then.
Well, and you'd made the comment when we were sitting here before we started filming, we'd wrapped for about 30 minutes and made the comment, man, all you got to do is just come in here and sit down and start talking, and the next thing you know, you start having high-level strategies forming out of nowhere. And guys, you're welcome to come and hang out with us at the show on the third week anytime you feel like. It's gratis. Just make sure Brian knows, and you'll be his guest, but you're welcome to do that. But that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
People just don't get that option or that opportunity to do it, and this is that opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So, I'm going to really encourage our dealer base, when you see these HTML emails, take notes of the schedule and the curriculum that's going on, and really attend. And I think you'll really get a lot out of it in terms of being able to grow your business, and both the live trainings as well as the podcasts and MP3s. If you happen to miss anything, well, each HTML email will not only show you the upcoming curriculum, but it'll also give you links to the archives of the previous month. So this way, if guys felt like they missed some of the info, they want to go back and check that, they can do so. And
guys, just so you know, there's no weak material. I can assure you, and we've been working together for years now, There's no time that you show up or hop on the call and you go, oh man, that wasn't all that good. None of it's weak.
No,
it's all strong.
Really solid stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've walked out of these things thinking, man, I cannot wait to get back. I got work to do.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. Because you walk out thinking, of course that'll work. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you do that often enough, and you start to realize, man, you can really grow your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
fantastic.
well, I really appreciate you spending the time walking through some of this
Absolutely,
stuff.
Brian.
And from CGT Studios, I'm Brian Rizzo.
I'm Edward Earl. Thanks a lot, guys.